welcome to Dogs of War YouTube channel. Today we got a Netrunner game tournament, round 3. Second game. You got me, Jesus, and
Angelo.
Here for you as your commentators. We got John on your left with Reyna, and Tree on the right with HB Silver Imaging.
Yep, Cerebral Imaging. So we've both seen these decks already been played under the camera once already today. Yeah. So neither one of these should be much of a surprise. It's just a matter of seeing how it played out. So we saw John took the win in the previous round, which I will say is fantastic for John. Tree's a fantastic, fantastic player. When I first started playing all these games last year, I learned a lot under Tree. I've lost a lot of games to Tree, and he's made me a better player. So for somebody like John, who's still fairly new to the game, to be able to eke out a win like that is really, really fantastic for him. So let's see what happens in this.
Tree's a great player.
So
here Tree puts an ice protecting HQ for his Count Siphon. Again, always assume your runner's running a Count Siphon.
Which we actually know John's not, but Tree has no way of knowing that. So actually,
no,
wait, no, he is. He is running a Count Siphon. Wow, there you go.
Okay, if you see a blue card and a runner's grip, it's a Count Siphon.
That's incredible. We never saw that played against my game with him, so that's really interesting. That would have actually forced me to res a piece of ice in that game. So. All right, so we can see a knight coming out on the board. I always hate installing Caesas without having deep red in play, but sometimes you just have to do it.
Yeah.
The real problem here is it's no longer a surprise. So, Mike can install something, and he knows that knight's going to end up on it. So at this point, you want to install a piece of ice that has a lot of subroutines, because knight is actually really, really expensive to break ice.
I'm assuming he wants to try to Count Siphon, so he doesn't want to play. Oh, he had it?
Ah, see, I would not have played deep red there. I would have moved that knight over to HQ, and I would have a Count Siphon tree.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to do. Because John doesn't like to float tags, so...
So there you go, Count Siphon.
Oh, wait, maybe I'm wrong.
Tree will res that ice.
No, he won't.
Wow. So usually Tree and I tend to agree on this. If you're going to get a Count Siphon, give the runner as little credits as possible,
I think he's still going to have 5 credits after he resed it. He has a lot of credits.
Yeah.
Plus,
if you think about it, if you res that, let's just say it has 2 subroutines on it, that costs him 4 to break it, plus whatever the res cost is, which puts your credit count lower too. So, but, he did the smart move here, and he trashed that. Now you get rid of it.
Plus, this Sliver Imaging is a deck that doesn't care that much from Count Siphons.
So again, I think actually, yeah, you can see John messed up there again. He forgot that he has to run first before he can install that data leak reversal. This isn't going to work against Tree. He's just going to trash it.
If he keeps the tag.
He doesn't have New Angeles City Hall. Oh, he spent the credits to pop it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, no, it looks like, is that a tag marker, or is that part of the playmat?
He does have a tag left.
Yep.
Oh, from Count Siphon.
Yep. So, again,
Tree trashed both.
That could be a tempo play too, Force him to spend clicks and credits to get rid of cards that maybe you just don't care about at the moment. So he's left with one. See, and this is what I hate doing as the runner, is getting stuck when I start my turn with only 1 card in my hand. Because now you're going to spend your entire turn drawing and not putting any pressure on the corp whatsoever. This is why I always draw at the beginning of my turn as a runner. Just use that 1 click, and just assume you always have 3 clicks to play with, because one's going to be drawing a card.
So Tree gains credits and ice ups a R&D.
Well, he's in a tough spot right now, right? He's only got what looks like, 6, 7 credits right now, so his hand size is still actually pretty small, which is something you don't want to see for a Cerebral Imaging deck. I think at this point as Reyna, you just start running and forcing him to res ice and getting that credit pool smaller and smaller. If you can get him down to 3 credits or 4, it makes it really hard for him to gain back up without clicking for credits, because you can't do things like hedge funds and things like that. And these style Cerebral Imaging decks just hate that.
So you're thinking John should...
He should just run.
Yeah, should face plant more often?
Plascrete's useless. I mean,
he doesn't know.
He doesn't know, but I haven't yet seen a Cerebral Imaging deck that is built around Scorch. I think it could work well, but I just think you run. I mean, you have no programs installed, so face planting into a rototurret or whatever just doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, at least 10, so he can restructure.
Just run and start forcing him to spend those bucks. I mean, you're Reyna. That's what you're there for.
So John plays Armored Arch.
Yep.
Code busting.
I mean, he has an indexing in his hand, and as much as you hate to waste an indexing, I would play it and force Tree to res whatever that piece of ice is, you know? Just make him...
I should have run all its faceplant every single time.
See, and now you're installing icebreaker, so now you can't run. Now you have to sit there and think to yourself, well, I'm going to lose that if I don't have something that can break a sentry now. And this is why I hate running with icebreakers in play, you know?
Unless just, you have the whole suite.
Yeah, unless you have at least a sentry breaker. You know, a sentry breaker and you're fine. But now you're, without having any res dice on the board, you don't know where to run to not lose that corroder.
Yep. One of the things is don't install a break unless you know you need it.
Yep.
If you don't need it, don't install it.
The one exception to that rule being if you're playing against Jinteki, install a sentry breaker as fast as you can.
Yeah. True.
You don't want to faceplant.
There's always exception to the rules.
Oh, there's a rotor turret, and now you're going to see he's going to
why.
lose that corroder. And plus it also ends the run. So, you can't do it, man. You can't do it. Cool. Now, he has another corroder in his hand, it looks like, which is fine, but it costs him a click and 2 credits to reinstall it.
Yeah. Rotor turret. Pew, 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 pew.
And see, now our tree's slow advancing. There's the first efficiency committee. So I will say this: if you're ever playing against a cerebral imaging deck, you need to keep him honest. Tree's a good player; he's not going to, intentionally cheat. But I know I've played, cerebral imaging decks before, where you just lose kind of track of how many credits you have. And as the runner, you can ask at any point in time, how many credits do you have?
How many
cards in your hand? Because it is really hard as a CI player to make sure you're keeping up with, the right hand size with the right amount of credits in play. Everybody makes mistakes, but everybody wants to play a clean game.
I know.
But, Tree's doing the right thing here. He's, getting his economy up at the same time he's drawing cards, which is what you want to see. Yep, there's another...
blue level.
Yep.
So he uses a counter to get a extra click and play 2 blue levels.
Which is a good move.
Yep. That's 4 cards and 6 credits.
Yep. So we pass it back over to John. Again, I'm not so convinced that you install the same old things like that. And again, see, why would you do that there? See, I just don't.
Yeah.
Some of these plays, it's like he's looking for cards to play and he's just playing them instead of actually, playing them at the optimal time, Yeah,
way because Tree may think that server's safe and put something else in there.
Exactly.
And then you surprise him with that and go after it.
So now run his hand. Like, he's already proven he's not willing to res ice. Run his hand. So we get a green level. Green level. Gains a click. Blue level.
So Tree has a lot of clearances.
I think that's his last blue level, though. And I think he's only played 2 greens so far. Data Sucker, which again, I
understand. You can start building.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But if he's not going to run, I mean, you only install it when you want to start running, right? You don't just drop it on the board, waste the credits, and then not run with it. Like, again, he's already proven he's not willing to res the ice, so just run.
This Project Viturious. So that's 4 points to 0 on Tree's favor. So John still has an indexing. And a deja vu.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to deja vu at this point, though.
You say he had a corroder in his hand?
He has a corroder in his hand also. See, I would face check that.
There you go, finally.
I would have face checked that headquarters ice, find out what it is, hope it's a barrier, and then install corroder and account siphon.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the only way to control this deck is to get those credits gone. If you can get those credits... I mean, he has a vamp. I would even vamp. Honestly, I mean, if he
has a vamp?
He has a vamp in his hand. Either one of those two are what you need. Yeah, and see, again, we're installing more programs not knowing what that ice is.
You don't want to install a corroder, an icebreaker that you have an ice already resed, because Tree can put another ice in front of it.
Play it on the first click of your next turn.
Exactly.
But again, John's newer to the game, so hopefully he'll watch some of these videos and he'll learn a thing or two from his play.
So Deja Vu.
He's got, what, one Parasite in there? Or does he have two? It looks like he grabbed one card. We don't know what it is. It looks like he grabbed the Parasite. Okay.
Oh, no. He got
Knight.
A Knight.
So you have Deep Red in play. You drop the Knight on that card protecting. Nah, see, I would have gone for the account siphon there. So that's going to cost him 4 to break it.
Yep. For a turret. Pew, pew,
And then,
pew.
is that an NAPD? Nope.
Project Victorious.
So now here's the problem. That Knight's now stuck. It can never go to any other piece of ice in play now.
What was the movement?
It has to go left or right, and it has to go up or down.
Okay.
It can't go to a matching piece of ice on another server. So Tree has to go too deep on headquarters so he can move it to either there and then move it back down to the Eli over there if he wanted to drop it on R&D. Which you'd probably tell Tree's reading it right now to make sure the way it moves so that he knows where he's safe and he can install ice at.
But it can skip a server, yeah?
What's up?
Can it skip a server?
No, it actually has
Okay.
to go up or down. You see, move server to server.
So Tree trashes it. Never keep any chess pieces on your ice. It's a no-no. Keep your ice clean out of chess pieces.
And it would have been fantastic if those were with viruses, because then you could have deja vu 2 of them back into your hand.
No.
Or even if we had gotten a card that even just allowed you, other than pawn, as a way to recur.
If they would have made those chess pieces viruses, it would have made Noise so good.
It would have. I think it would have given Noise what he needed, become more competitive.
But then it would have made the chess pieces more workable with Noise than Reyna.
True.
Because Reyna doesn't do nothing to them.
Yeah, it's weird as a character. She doesn't really
Yeah.
have any real interaction with them, even though she's supposed to be the
It's
queen
just-
of chess.
Yeah.
As a thematic standpoint, it would have been interesting to have seen them tie the consoles back to the runners. So have there been like some ability on Deep Red that, and if you're using this with Reyna, you gain X, or Desperado if you're using this with, Gabe.
Ooh, Tree doesn't res. I wonder if it's a barrier.
Or if you just can't afford to res it. I mean, that could be something
That's
pretty
true.
big.
Yeah, there's 2 types of cerebral imaging you could play: big ice or small ice.
But it's getting late in the day too. We had several rounds of drafting before this, so we had draft play, and then this is the 3rd round of the tournament. So I think it's
Tree, please don't leave that same old thing there.
I don't think he cares. He's just gonna green level back up, gain some more bucks, and draw some more cards. He's either digging for an agenda or he's digging for a fast advance piece. I'm not sure which though. But you can see where cerebral imaging is starting to become a pain in the butt now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He played the glean levels. I know for the money, but
He has an
had
archive
this-
memories in the hand, and I just saw it, so he can get some of that stuff back.
oh, he took the tags out.
Yep. He's John's very paranoid about tags. I personally would have just popped the same old thing and left the tags.
I agree. That's what I would have done, and I can't siphon again.
Yep. Because again, at this point, you don't care if you actually land the account siphon. You just want to get rid of those credits. So if you force him to res the ice, it does the same thing.
Doesn't he have indexing?
He has one in his hand.
Why would he index there?
I don't know. A lot of times I wonder if people don't feel like indexing is like what you do to win the game. So
So good.
You keep it in your hand, and you play it at that opportune moment to win the game instead. A lot of people want to live the dream and index Maker's Eye, or something like that. But I mean, you have to think about it. It is costing him 4 credits to get in.
No, and that.
Corroder
Yeah.
costs 4 to break Eli. So.
Yeah, but he has a data sucker. It's costing him only 3.
Which I don't think he's putting data sucker tokens on either.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, is he?
He's using the Team Covenant
Oh, okay.
virus tokens. They're kind of clear, so it's hard to see them.
Gotcha. See, Tree is digging for something else again.
I think he's going to try to archive memories.
Well, he's got at least a biotic in his hand that I saw there.
Yeah. He decides just to get credit.
Well, at some point, you just realize that you just need credits now. Now it's a credits game. How many credits do I need to be able to fast advance out the rest of the points that I need?
So John is thinking.
Man, he really just needs to pound HQ and force him to res that piece of ice.
I won't say pound, say run.
Come on, John, you got this, man.
We haven't watched this game, so we all.
So there's an Armitage code busting. Which, I don't really think he needs the credits right now. So I think he would have gotten, again, more benefit out of just dropping that account siphon.
Unless he's afraid that now Tree can res that ice. But then again, he's poor again.
Yeah, I mean, and, that's the thing, is you make him poor, then he loses all those cards in his hand, it makes it very, very difficult. Because if you can get a Cerebral Imaging player...
Ooh, a three-pointer.
Yep. Down to the point where he has to choose between discarding fast advance cards or agendas.
Oh, John.
Is that an NAPD?
No, I don't think so.
Because he had no credits, and he reached for it like he thought it was an agenda, so I was wondering if that was an NAPD.
Oh, no, John is notorious to... When you show him the card, he'll look at it and try to grab it like it was an agenda, and then just leave it.
Yeah, so here we go. So here we get the shipment from Sansan scoring. So it's a game-winning point
6-5 for
both sides.
Oh, no, 2-pointer, sorry. So I don't think Tree runs... I don't think CI runs 1-pointers. I think they only run 3s.
No, they only run 3s and 2s. It's not cost-effective to fast advance out a 1-pointer.
Ooh. Nope. That's third click.
Gotta run that
Fourth
hand.
click. He draws.
See, I don't know why you would draw here instead of taking credits. I don't know what you need at this point.
A vamp.
Rather than just taking the credits, and so you have the credits for next turn. Series Celebrity Gift. He's got a restructure. He's got archive memories. He's got biotic labor. And he's got another shipment from Sansan. He has everything he needs to score the game-winning point in his hand. Question is now, does he have the game-winning point in his hand? Now all he needs is the clicks. So it makes me wonder what that piece of ice was, that he was willing to get rid of it at this point. And it tells me...
I think it's a barrier breaker.
Yeah, it tells
a barrier.
me it was probably something very easy to get through.
Yeah. Paper wall. Not paper wall. Yeah, paper wall.
It could be. So John's trying to decide where he's going to go.
What?
Interesting choice.
Ooh.
Although it makes me wonder what he's... I want to see what he's going to do, because unless he's planning on account siphoning...
That's just one memory. I don't understand what was that for.
I mean, it costs him basically the same amount of money, which is the weird
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Just see a toll booth. Again, account siphon here. You can get through that ice. No matter what it is, in theory, you should be able to get through it for the most part.
I thought he was going to count siphon.
Yeah. I mean, the most you need is 5 credits. Well, 8, I guess, because you have to actually get through the 3 credits on a toll booth, but...
And that's an agenda. That was game-winning agenda. Behind a toll booth.
Yep. And I can only guess that John's going to probably try and run that and faceplant the toll booth, and that'll be it. You can see he's thinking about it.
Let's just check R&D one more time.
See, all those times he was drawing, he could have been clicking Armitage and getting enough credits to, make a difference here. You can face check that R&D again, but if you don't find that point, that's it.
I guess.
And look how small Tree's deck is getting. So, I mean, the chances of there even being an agenda in there and not in his hand at this point are still very slim.
So that could be a fishing committee or MPD contracts. If it's a priority rec, he can't score it. So
it could also be a Grindle refinery too. Surprisingly enough,
he runs Grindles.
He was running Grindles in that deck.
Okay.
You know, if you need a lot of money fast, you know, it's a really good way. If you want to bait a run, it's a really good way to do it as well.
He clicks. Has money now.
Still not enough to get through that toll booth, though.
How many? He has what? 3 left counters on Overmind?
Yeah. I don't know how many. I can't tell how many virus tokens are on Data Sucker either. Because, I mean, toll booth is strength 5, so you would need $5 or 5 Data Sucker tokens to get it down. Plus, you'd have to pay the 3 for encountering it. And then you could break it. Yeah. Well, if that's an agenda, this is Tree's game.
Yep.
Yep. There we go.
Oh, it was efficiency priority wreck.
Yep.
Wow.
So there we go. I want to know what that ice was on top of HQ, though. I'm actually interested now. Oh, and there was one in archives. Oh, with the quandary. Oh, he would have had that. That's why you have to run archives, John. If you're watching this, run archives.
Always, man. Like I said, always keep the corp honest, man. Check all those cards. So, great game here. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.
Have a good one, guys.